Good morning. It's Sunday, April 11th. So Joe Biden, our president, has ordered a commission to study Supreme Court expansion and reform. He's done this because he promised to do this sometime during his campaign. It's not that he favors expanding the court, but he wants to look at all his options. So he's put together a commission of 36 members. And he's given them 6 months to review the situation in the court and come up with some suggestions. And really, what can he really do? Because basically, he can pack the court. But let's think about that. There's 9 members on the court, 6 of whom are conservative. So if Joe wants to pack the court, that means he would probably have to add 4 members to the court, 4 liberal members to overcome the three vote margin that the conservatives have. So that would create a court of 13 members. That could be very unwieldy. And if he does less than that, he's not achieving anything. So packing the court would mean you have to have 13 members on the court. And I'm not sure that Joe wants to go that way, but there's really not much else he could do if he packs the court. However, he could consider unpacking the court, in which case the 3 newest members who are conservative would be gone. But that would leave 6 members on the court. And you can't have just 6 members on the court, because then you could have a lot of draws, There wouldn't be a final decision if you only had 6 members. So you've got to have an odd number of members. And he can't unpack further because the next 2 members in seniority are both liberals. So that would bring him down to 4 members on the court, 3 of whom are conservative. So he's stuck in the middle. He can't unpack the court. So it's a dilemma. Packing seems to be cumbersome, and unpacking would not do him any good. So the next thing on the agenda, without packing the court and changing the makeup right now, would be some form of court reform, in which term limits would be the next item on the agenda. So what would be the appropriate term limit? Many justices are probably not appointed until they're well into their 50s. So if you said 20 years, that might be okay, because then the person would be in their 70s. Right now, you have 1 justice in his 80s and 2 are in their 70s. And it looks to me like most of them have been appointed in their 50s. Or close to 50. Of course, you could start looking to appoint judges who are only 35 or 40 years old, but then you might not get the brightest people in the world at that point. So it's a dilemma there, too. What's the proper term limit for a Supreme Court judge? I mean, would you want to be a Supreme Court judge if your term limit was, say, 5 years or 7 years? No, probably not. Term limit's got to be at least 20 years. So I'm not so sure they can come up with a really good solution. But maybe 20 years would be okay. They must leave after 20 years and be, say, older than 75 or something like that. That might work. Well, maybe we don't have a true term limit. Maybe we have an age limit, say 80. Say 20 years and 80. Well, maybe they have to undergo medical and mental examinations every couple of years. And then if they can be deemed to be unfit, they could be forced off the court. Look how many years RBG served when she wasn't in the best of health. But she managed to do her job. So I think it's very difficult to establish a good term limit on the court, because I think a lot of it depends upon the age at which you get appointed. So if you appoint young judges, you could say 30 years. If if you can't be appointed after the age of 50 or something like that. So there's a lot of different ways you could go with term limits. I'm not sure any one of them is any better than anything else. So we'll leave it up to see what the commission comes up with. So right now in my mind, I'm not sure he has a really good solution looking at packing and unpacking the court, as well as term limits. But at least he's giving it a try. He's looking at it. But then he raises this issue, which I am categorically opposed to. He has said that he's going to appoint a black female judge to the court. Now that is a blatant political statement. There's no reason to make that statement at this point. He may never have the opportunity to even appoint a judge. So why make that statement now? It's politics. It's trying to keep the progressive side of the Democratic Party off his case. Now that bothers me, in that I believe the people who belong on the Supreme Court are the best available legal mind at that particular time. Now, if she happens to be a black woman, that's wonderful. If she's not, she doesn't deserve to be on the court. But if he really wants to make a statement about this, then he's got to look for maybe a black Asian woman. And then he could cover two bases, and wouldn't that be a wonderful thing? But there again, I would be against that too, because I'm looking for the best possible person. So let's say maybe a black Asian Jew. Maybe that would be the best person, and of the female persuasion. That would be maybe a wonderful thing if you could find such a person. And how about this one? We have a black Asian woman, Jewish, transgender, and we could put her on the court, or him, her, or however that goes. All in all, you can see that this doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't think it makes any sense in the world to declare openly right from the get-go, this is what I plan to do. So that excludes all of the candidates of the male persuasion, no matter what their color is, because we've already got a black man on the court, or two black men on the court. What's the difference? We don't need a black man. We need a black woman on the court. And whether she's a great judge or not, I'm not so sure that would be as much part of the thinking as just because she's black. I don't think that's right. So all in all, the Supreme Court is a mess in my mind right now, in terms of what Biden is trying to do. And I'll leave you with those thoughts right now. So I will see you in the morning. Bye.